Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have the historical rules event for you. Our first round is going to be the Garland stand, followed up by the Anderson's counterattack. Before we get into this, thank you to our YouTube members for the support. If you'd like to support, go beneath the video and hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment on all of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Our regiments for today. On the CSA side, you have the Army of Northern Virginia, 2 Corps, Hampton's Legion, 13th Georgia, 20th Georgia, 2nd United States Cavalry, Texas Guards, Hood's Division, 1st Kentucky, the Kentucky Outlaws, and the Shenandoah Regulars, whereas on the Union side, you have the New York Volunteers, 51st New York, Lee's French Legion, 3rd Alabama, 8th Florida, 1st Delaware, 11th Mississippi, Jenkins Brigade, 17th Michigan, and the 6th Arkansas. One thing to note is that the Shenandoah Regulars did bounce over to Union, so small numbers, but you know, every little number can make the difference. Server population, the actual amount, it's 255. Inbounds is 1 towards the CSA side. Artillery-wise, Union taking 6, CSA having 8. So our inbounds right now overall is 1 infantry in favor of the Union side. Big difference there. Impacts the round in a very, very huge way. Frontline reporters today on your Union side, you have Parker from the 6th New York or New York Volunteers. And on the other side of things, you got Killer from the Army of Northern Virginia. Appreciate these guys so we can see what's going on the ground while also seeing what is going on in the sky. Garland's stand, it is a 19% ticket advantage to the Union side. Normally attackers have the advantage, and that advantage is 19%. Weapons on this map, Union attack, they've got the 30th Ohio with the option of the Springfield 55 or the Springfield 61. They have the 12th Ohio with the option of the Lorenz and the Springfield 61. CSA defense, on the other hand, both regiments, 13th and 20th North Carolina, have the options of the 42s, which have buck and ball shotguns, basically, the Enfield and the 55. So, Union's getting very aggressive to start, which is really how you kind of got to play this match if you're Union. No sprinting until the 30-minute mark, and no bayonets until either side hits engage. So that's a little different than what we've seen for the past few months now, is where normally you could get bayonets at 30, but now it's bayonets at engaged, if I'm correct. Let me scroll up to make sure.
NYB on my left.
Yeah, no bayonets at engaged until engaged, sprinting at 30. So, generally, how this map is played, Union generally likes to go on this far left side and kind of hit the CSA right flank, and then they'll try to take it and eventually just collapse in on the rest of the CSA, slowly rolling them over. You'll also see Union sometimes like to charge this far right side as well with the out of bounds, basically going into that corner a little bit, about 5-10 feet. It's out of bounds at that point. So Union also likes to charge this side and try to take the little building here. Point of contention's in the center of the map here. It goes across a huge length of this stone wall here. So it'll be interesting to see. I have not seen Union win this map in a very long time. And I've seen this map a lot the past couple of months. Mostly because of the Wednesday competitive Smoke and Steel League event that I watch. People seem to think that this is a balanced map. At least it's played a lot. I don't think it's that balanced because CSA's won it every time. The only time I've seen Union win this map as of late is when the Union team bomb rushed this CSA left side with their whole team and kind of sat on the stone wall right here, and they could cap the point from here, so they just kind of stood there, early capped it. CSA could never charge them out. Granted, that event did not have officer communication. People had to run around and talk to each other in the game if they wanted to communicate, and that can always be difficult to organize a team charge, especially against an opponent who has their whole team in a certain spot. And I mean, this event has the same thing, but there's going to be a little bit more of a, potentially, a language barrier, because this is a European event. They got French, German, Russians. There's probably a lot more than that too, but regardless, Union's getting close, but they're not charging in. The no bayonets doesn't really change a whole lot in terms of charging. It just makes the charges a lot longer, since bayonet hitting, or when you stab someone with a bayonet, it's 2 stabs to kill someone. If you cannot use a bayonet and you have to use the butt of your rifle, that's 3 grugs to kill. But no sprinting can really harm things. But the advantage for this map, for the CSA, is that they all have the option of buck and ball, which I assume the whole CSA side is taking. At least a few shots I'm seeing, they're having it. But when the whole CSA team has shotguns and Union doesn't, it's a huge disadvantage for the Union side, even though Union has a ticket advantage. This is one of those maps that Union definitely needs a ticket bump in, or you got to remove the buck and ball for CSA, either or. Or just give the Union buck and ball too. I saw one suggestion to where they should try to return it to what it was before. It originally used to be where you'd get a gun at random, right? So one of the CSA regiments, or really both CSA regiments on this map, right? They have the option to spring for 55, the Enfield, and the spring for 42. You can choose what weapon you want right now. It used to be in the past where you'd be just given a gun at random, which would really, in a sense, kind of nerf buck and ball. It wouldn't nerf it, but in terms of a team effort, being able to do that, use buck and ball that much, that would most certainly harm that. Would help Union a lot on this map. But anyways, let's briefly look over where everyone's at. Looks like this far CSA right, you got A and V. It's an important spot to have. Coming more towards the center, you got HD in good numbers. I think I saw some HL mixed in. You got the 2-core. It's the French group. This time, the Italians aren't here today. And then you also got Texas Guards with them as well. Further left, kind of in the center, you got the 1st Kentucky here with some HL artillery, 2nd U.S. Cav, 13th Georgia. And then really kind of going outflanking the Union line here. You got 20th Georgia and then TKO. Union line, on the other hand, looks like you got some 6th Arkansas guys who are skirmishing out there. Going a little more in towards the Union line, you got 11th Mississippi, Jenkins Brigade. I saw some SR in there as well. And then the bulk of this Union left, LFL, Midwest Brigade, 1st Delaware, NYV, 3rd Alabama, I assume 8th Florida. There they are, a couple of them are with them. And you got the Serpents Brigade, which was 51st New York in the introduction. So it's quite interesting. Generally, what I've seen in the past is that a shootout on this map actually favors the Union. Generally, shootouts at middle to longer distances, which, I mean, this is definitely a middle range in terms of shooting, I would say. But there's so many variables going into if a shot actually hits, the skill of the person, the sway of the weapon, their suppression, elevation changes, smoke, trees, cover, shade, all of that. There's so many variables that generally it's a 1-to-1 trade in kills, which means it's a 1-to-1 trade in tickets being lost. And since the attackers have a larger pool of tickets over a long period of time, you would anticipate that the defenders would be hurt a lot more by that than the attackers. However, as we've seen so far in the first about 8 or so minutes of this round, this shootout has really favored the CSA side. And this event, it's a historical rules event, so if you're above 15 guys in your group, you have to double rank. And that means everyone's going to be real clumped up here, kind of like this. And when CSA has buck and ball shotguns, that's just a game changer. And Union being forced to kind of being really clumped up, it's going to be a lot easier for CSA to get shots. And since the shotguns shoot more than one pellet, you're more than likely to hit one person. There's a good shot you could hit more than one person. And even if it doesn't kill, because the pellets of the shot don't kill past 33 yards, you can wound them, which will help in melees whenever that happens, which will be soon. So you got some Union shifting, NYV shifting more towards the center. Looks like Union's kind of abandoning this left side. You can just tell with the amount of bodies down that they're taking a hit. So CSA doing great so far. Union got to kind of change up their strategy if they can do that. So we'll see what they have planned when we get to the part where they can sprint in. Because again, everyone not having bayonets, I think doesn't really discourage charging. I mean, you could argue it does, but as I explained a few minutes ago, it just takes longer for everyone to kill each other, which means more people are spawning in on flags, and actually the fights go longer. I must be hearing in one of the frontline reporter views, their audio's playing while I'm listening to the in-game and the frontline reporter's audio right now. It's great. I mean, you can kind of see what's going on in the woods here. At least Killer there on the rocks, or A and V on that far right side. I mean, you can kind of see, even through the binos, you can kind of see some of the outlines of the Union figures, but it's difficult to see because you have the shade. Shade is a huge difference in this game. I mean, I can show you on my view right now, but look at the CSA on the left versus the CSA on the right side who are in the shade. It's a lot harder to pick out the guys in the shade. You can still see them, but still, it's a lot harder. You might be able to silhouette somebody, but in terms of visuals, it's hard. And then this is on top of the smoke and all the other stuff as well. And then you got Parker on the other side, which actually, you do have NYV starting to shift out towards this kind of CSA left where TKO and 20th is. Union's almost in engage. We're almost at the 30-minute mark. And this could be a good chance for Union to get some kills. CSA almost up. They're up by half morale stage.
Let him come.
TKO spread out across the snake fence to the right of 20th and independent fire. Enemies east, southeast. All targets, low bucket long.
Line right, 13th. Flank and see, independent fire.
So, meanwhile, Union far left side looks like they're pushing forward. Are they going to go in? That's the question. Looks like 3rd Alabama, Serpents Brigade, 8th Florida in the front. Williamson going in first. Somehow avoids that CSA bucking ball, which holy shredding.
Counter charge, fucking bastard. Wipe these guys and swing left. Wipe these guys and swing left.
Double quick.
Oh, double quick. Pas de sprint.
Why do you have a bayonet? Why do you have a bayonet?
Come on, Killer. You're gonna hit that guy. Union hits engage. Bayonets are now live. You got a couple of melee still going on here with the CSA counter charge, but they will hold that. It does get Union down to engaged. And I mean, that's the thing. What is our server pop right now? I mean, we're at 270, and I mean, Union outnumbers CSA by a little bit here. Not a whole lot, all things considered. It's 9 infantry-wise, but it's 8 originally. I mean, the thing is that when we start to get to these larger player counts, you could argue above 200, 250, around that range. But CSA, they're almost defending the whole length of the map. Union just kind of has to charge in and hope that they can break through somewhere. Like, here we go. Lone Mississippi, some CQB guys in with them, charging right in. 2nd U.S. CAF, 1st Kentucky trying to hold the line.
Those officers, they don't deserve to live.
And again, Union doesn't break through that, but they get some kills. They didn't bring their flag up. Flags are kind of an indicator for if the attackers are trying to take ground or not. At least I think so. Because with the 5-second respawns of the flags, it is very difficult to win a charge without them. And when you don't have them, that probably means you're just trying to go in and get kills. Because if you're trying to take ground as an attacker, you need to bring your flags up because defenders are going to have those flags in the line and they're just going to start spitting out guys. And unless you sweep through really quickly and get that flag down, then
Arkansas West.
that defender's going to out-respawn you fast without you having a flag. So Union's kind of spreading out CSA line. I assume it's NYV who shifted over here. Looks like they're just kind of engaging some shots. Not really going to do a whole lot in terms of kills because CSA does have the stone wall. It's just a hard shot except for that guy there. Rip him.
On that side, so.
But even without the rules of this event, this map is very difficult for Union. I mean, as we see so far, Union's down, but if Union wants to keep it close, they have to sit back and shoot because the tickets. I mean, CSA kind of took a lead with the shootout. Don't get me wrong, but generally the shootouts are close, and that's a good way for Union to kind of get CSA down without losing a whole lot of tickets themselves. But the issue is that you limit it on time, so you have to charge, but then you have to charge into block. It's a mess. This map is really, really difficult for the Union side. It's like, I almost wish that this boundary was extended a little more, because, again, you can't go too far into the corn. Oh, can you? Holy crap. Wait. Holy crap. Does that mean... Huh. I almost wonder if Union should try to charge through. I think it... Yeah, it's weird. Okay. So, what the... This out of bounds is weird. It, like, it's in bounds here, and then it, like, diagonals over it. That's really weird. Well, who designed these boundaries? Union's charging on both flanks. NYV's charging down the CSA left. You can see that on the top right side of your screen. Meanwhile, you got Union charging in on the CSA right as well. And at least on this side, both sides took each other out. It looks like CSA is going to be able to hold Union down a flag. Meanwhile, opposite side of things. Looks like NYV's taken up on that stone wall around the church. CSA is trying to move to react to that. I mean, CSA is going in the wood line here. TKL, 20th Georgia, 13th Georgia trying to hold that. I mean, CSA is almost down to engage, but you generally want to hit a defender down to engage by the 30-minute mark. Oh, here comes CSA counter charge.
Shut your mouth, people.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Bait us down into him. Bait us down into him. Oh, you done messed up on your ticket, CSA. Good job. Oh, there goes your ticket. Oh, there goes your ticket.
And that's a good hold there. NYV looks like 11 Mississippi moving up. And I see some Serpents Brigades guys in there as well. And that's a CSA flag. That is a huge hold for Union. Canister trying to get some fun. It's a nice angle. But that's huge for Union. They've gotten a foothold on the CSA defensive line. Now, if I were Union, I would try to early cap point. It's going to stop the timer. It's going to give you more time. You can cap past this tree, I'm 90% sure. Which, look at that, they're starting to do that. But the thing is, if you can hold over here, cap the point, you'll stop the timer, giving you more time. You'll draw the CSA out of their strong positions to charge at you, who have a stone wall. So, I think Union got an early cap here, and the rest of the Union team has to reinforce over here, or at least put pressure on the other side so that the whole CSA team doesn't collapse in. Let's CSA now down to engage.
Hello. Hey, come back here. Come here. Give me some. Yeah, you want.
Trash talk prevails. So, we'll note CSA main spawn is here, and I guess since the out of bounds goes pretty far over here, CSA really could try to flank through and hit the Union from the rear side, which that already shot. So, there is almost no downside for the Union to early cap in a situation like this. Again, more time for the Union attacking side. That's normally what a counterattack gives you. But also, if the defenders are normally, if they are down on tickets, in terms of a percentage, if they're down on tickets and they retake the point, they'll go up to the attacker's percentage of tickets. The thing is, though, right? CSA, the defending team, is up. They're not down on tickets, which, as a result, the CSA side's not going to regain any tickets if they were to retake a point here. So, looks like CSA's doing as mentioned. Assume it's 20th. And TKO. First Kentucky guys are in here as well, and they're going to run up and try to get some flanks on the Union, who doesn't have a crazy defensive spot.
Reverse, left wheel.
Jesus Christ.
And this is the thing for CSA. It's going to be difficult for them to try to take out the Union group there unless they have some sort of team effort. They probably need about a third to a half of their team to do that. And it can be difficult. Meanwhile, the Union left side looks like they've got their flag back. But never mind. Looks like they have one down. However, they've pushed towards the center here where the CSA already is. And if they could collapse down and help their friendlies who are being collapsed in on both sides, they need that. CSA starting to pincer.
Oh, yeah, shit. Grace, here they are. Here they are, boys.
Is the Union top side reinforcing down? It looks like they're not. They might be being charged out, though. Which is keeping them away from their friendlies down here. CSA sweep. They're going to get those two Union flags down. And charging up top here from A and V. Really good charge here from A and V. I assume others went with. Or maybe it was just them. Who knows? But that's a huge charge from A and V. It prevents the Union, who was here to see that the friendlies were in trouble and reinforce them. Now you got 6 Arkansas guys. A little confused. Master Assassin wants to go in, though. Oh. Get the flag out. And, oh my goodness, another one. Dang, every time Max swings, the guy gets shot. Oh, but there he goes. So Union will at least get this flag back in the friendly hands, but CSA is going to stop the counterattack. Black time is going to continue. CSA is now up 3/4 of a morale stage, and Union is currently down for all 4 flags. This one should be recoverable, though, by 6 Arkansas. And then this one is a reasonable pickup for Union. So, regardless, Union's down 2 flags, and this is not. Why is 6 Arkansas not going for the flag? Do they not know it's there? They could very much not know it's there, because when you hit T, I think you see all down flags though when you hit T. Wow. Well, maybe 3 of these flags are not recoverable for Union. So, I at this point I'm ready to call it for CSA. This is wow.
Cachez-vous cachez-vous, je regarde avec ma jumelle.
Avec ta grosse jumelle.
Il y a des mouvements dans la forêt à gauche, Tragorn.
So, CSA is going to reform, so is the Union side. But at this point, right, 3/4 of the Union flags are down, which means for 75% of the Union team, if they die, they got to spawn back here and just move up here, which is going to make things that much more difficult for them. Now, Union could play aggressive and try to get these flags back again. However, it looks like CSA is at least securing this side, trying to maybe prevent Union from doing that. You got 1st Kentucky, 2 Corps, 20th Georgia, and TKO on this front.
I see some movement to the south. Southeast. Several fellers down there, I can't tell.
Sur les fences, à gauche, à volonté.
Oui. Il y a aussi à droite.
Soit à gauche.
À gauche.
Est, sud-est. Repliez-vous long défense, repliez-vous long défense.
That's a heck of a thing to miss. My goodness, I guess Union. I mean, you could see the shade. It blends well with these dark Union uniforms.
Down the fence, facing north, independent fire.
Charging from northwest through the field.
Coming at us from the north and the northwest, independent fire. Kill these rebs.
So, Union down to taking losses. Those flags that are down, they have a 5-minute despawn. What was that already shot? They have a 5-minute despawn timer on them. So, if the the Union's not going to get those back for another, at this point, three and a half minutes. Unless someone runs up and picks it up, like Fork here. Which... Good pickup from him. So situation got a little bit better. Uh-oh. Toon the Great tried, and he died. I never recommend having the flag in front of your line when charging the enemy. Like, or moving up towards the enemy. Oh, I guess he stopped. Okay, that's good. It's just like, the flag's going to be shot right away, preventing potential respawns. Oh my goodness, Union's getting completely shredded here. I mean, not a whole... I mean, you got a fair amount of 2nd U.S. Cav guys here who are getting good shots, but... I mean, you can just see how a few of them taking their shots really wreck a line of Union who are just trying to get close. Objectively as well, it doesn't make any sense for Union to walk up here and think they can take on the CSA. CSA's got a stone wall, Union does not. CSA's got bucket ball, Union does not. I mean, these are just, they're all things that add up, and then you get wiped like this and at least lose your flag for a moment. So that's, and again, another Union company that's out of the fight for another minute and a half, which at this point Union doesn't have time to afford that. So, but then again, right? What else really can the Union do on this map? If they charge in, they're going to get beat with buck and ball. If they sit back and shoot, they're going to have an issue of time. So you can't blame them for trying to something else. But if you're going to do something like that, at that point you might as well charge if you're right in there because you're so close. You're not going to win a close shooter like that. But also, you should try to have more of your team involved if possible, because that's the only shot Union has is by having an organized team effort going right in and hopefully trying to... How is there a Union guys alive here? Anyways, yeah, the only shot Union has is by having a whole team effort going in one spot, hitting it, and hoping that the CSA doesn't react quickly enough, kind of defeating them in detail. Meanwhile, CSA is counter-charging on this front. A and V, maybe seeing some weakness in the Union line going in, and they get a clean wipe there. You got some more Union starting to shift over here with the Union gun up top now. CSA is also taking position on the snake fence. Get a little more aggressive here.
That's a flag. That's a flag.
About face. About face.
Moving back.
Hey, Vic. How you find this fight?
So, as mentioned earlier, similarly, you want to hit the defenders down too, taking losses by the 20-minute mark. I mean, 2nd U.S. Cav is doing a good thing here. You could definitely argue that. They're not taking any deaths, which can be good for time there, because at this point, this round's going to be played on time for CSA.
Keep shooting, they're still in those bushes as well. Straight bushes.
Right, they're on that bush in the right.
Just fire.
But I mean,
Low and hold.
we're almost 30 minutes into the match, and Union has only hit CSA down a little over a morale and a half of a stage.
Yeah, they are back there.
That is very slow of a pace. And this is not necessarily blaming Union for bad game plan. Union's done some good things this round, and
I said hold fire.
He's dead.
it's just a rough map. Now, obviously, you can play it close, but it's very difficult to. Garland's is one of those maps where Union just either has to bonsai. I almost wonder if this side's the best side for Union at this point. At least just going off the rip of the round, but this event kind of makes it difficult to do that. Union charging out. Oh, they're charging them out. Yeah, A&V getting real aggressive here. 6th Alabama getting shots on 3rd Alabama. NYV at 4th New Jersey's rolling up, though, to where A&V was at, which looks like they got a couple of kills there.
They're running right. They're running right.
Another thing for strategy on this map is I wonder if Union, at the start of the round, all charges this side, and they bring their flags over here instead. so that while this charge over here draws the whole CSA team over to defend the flank, because you see the whole Union team charging you, the flags are moving over to this side, respawning dudes, and then you can hit this side and maybe get a foothold over here. You knows, right? I think it's a good idea, because the longer the attacker takes to do something, it's going to give the defenders significantly more time to respond to it and react accordingly. Like, if the attackers all gather up on this far left side and they sit and shoot it out for 5 minutes, CSA's like, oh yeah, they're all over there. And then they can send more guys over there and react. But looks like we've got a charge from NYV. Bringing their flag as well.
God, I hate you. God, I hate you. God, I hate you.
And that is very short-lived. And it looks like they're down to flag again. Fipsh is still alive, though. And there he goes. Trying to protect the flag there, but he was the only one left. And officers can't pick up the flags, even though that'd be kind of epic.
That is beautiful. Well done, MWB. Beautiful.
We need to probably hold the far left flank during some stalls, and then we can probably threaten the flank. That's the
There's the first shot. Oh, I see. They're moving on the left. They're moving on the left. Алла плама. После передачи равнее налево, налево. Скорым шагом вперед марш.
What? They're doing it again. Looks like it's HD this time.
Down this line,
and some HL guys. And Union's going to take this advantage to go in and get some kills.
Run away, boys. Come on, let's go out of here. Obviously, that does not mean keep standing.
Oh, I mean, hello. I mean, Union will obviously appreciate that if CSA overextends like that. CSA didn't lose a flag, though, so that's good on their part, but 12 minutes left. CSA's still not taking losses. This is not great. Union, at this point, if they hit CSA to breaking, which is after taking losses, they can cap and win. Which, I don't know if they're going to have enough time for that. However, they could early cap again, but that's going to be very, very difficult for them to do that. You got a lot of Union over here, actually, and now the French are going up. At least 2 core French guys are. One of the Mississippi just kind of shitting and shooting this out over here.
New line, guys. New line.
Hello, Artie. Where'd that go? Where'd that shot go? No shot. It hit all the way over there. Okay, did it break the snake fence? It looks like it didn't. Alright, please not. That's a crazy shot. Uh-oh, I might not make it. I'll make it. It's a little surprising that spectators have out of bounds, but I think it'd be kind of cool if they just had a mode where you could spawn in and just walk the whole battlefield. I mean, I don't know how many people would actually play that, but it'd be kind of cool the first or second time. That's the kind of the cool part about this game is that, I mean, we're a part of a whole big battlefield here, and parts of South Mountain are just cut up for this. Like, for example, right here, this is the Reno's Fall map. It's just right here. And there's a lot of areas that we don't see fighting on that we could. Like Colquitt's Defense is right there as well, in the center of the screen. I mean, it's pretty neat like that. And that looks like Cox's push there. So, here comes Union, though. NYV, 3rd Alabama, 8th Florida going in. They've got to deal ticket loss at this point. Charging is the only thing you can do. CSA reinforcements. Union actually getting a good amount of progress here, bringing their flags up, getting CSA flag down.
Hold on the rocks, HL.
CSA trying to charge out. You got some Union guys out here as well. 2nd US Cav. TG. For CSA. So CSA do end up winning that instead. Union flags make it out. Both sides drop to a next morale stage, but I mean, I don't see, again, I don't see how Union wins this at this point unless CSA drops the ball really badly, which you never know, but they played pretty good so far. So I would not expect that to change.
Dans les champs de maïs. Nord-ouest.
One Mississippi is starting to ship. I mean, 11 Mississippi is keeping a good chunk of CSA distracted, about similar numbers, so it's fine. But it's starting to get to a moment where it's make or break for the Union side. If Union does early cap, they do become the defending team, and they can hit last stand. So normally, right, Union would hit final push right now because they're the attacker, but if they cap point, they become defender. They can hit last stand. If CSA were to retake, they win. That could be a possibility at this point, because as of right now, it seems like the only chance maybe Union has is CSA screwing up really bad, which I don't see happening. Union early capping and then trying to outright hold it for 7 minutes, which is the counterattack time when the defenders aren't taking losses. But even that's unlikely. Trying to get CSA down a whole morale stage at this point. You definitely have the time, but very unlikely. So it's just a rough situation. Then on top of getting them down a whole morale stage in, you know, a few minutes, you got to capture the point. Just the odds are not in their favor. So Union's doing some movement, trying to get reformed. They probably talked, figuring out what they're trying to do. And IV is shifting around to the right side here.
Stanley Beardsley with your bayonet charge.
Looks like a Union down flag here as well. Huh. That looks like a little Mississippi's flag too. Looks like you got most of the Union shifting around. I like that they kept a couple guys back here, at least sitting and shooting it out, making the CSA think, oh yeah, Union's still here. Maybe not as much firepower, but you know, some distraction might be a good idea. And you got the whole Union team moving about. They're picking up that down flag, and I assume all the Union flags are over in this push. And we see one there, 2, 3. I mean, LFL's holding way over here with the last Union flag. I'm really surprised they're not shooting right now, because they need to provide a distraction, because these CSA guys are going to be like, well, Union's not shooting us. They could be somewhere else, which then they would be able to respond. But Union's got to move quick here. They don't have a lot of time, obviously. But CSA is not going to be super spread out like this for a long period of time. So if Union sits back in the corner and just kind of shoots it out with the CSA for a few minutes, it's going to give CSA time to reinforce, and that's what you don't want if you're Union. You need to defeat the CSA in detail, and you have a window right here. Anyways, let's see how this goes.
Run, boys!
Down the fence.
Right, now pull it back.
Oh, okay.
Back, all the way to the wall. Go to the wall. Go to the wall. Go to the wall. Get in there.
CSARD is going to get a nice shot, hopefully, in a second. We'll see. LFL's charging in on the other side. Nice arty shot there. Fortunately, it doesn't do too much, all things considered. London, Mississippi looks like they charged up with a flag here. They got shot down pretty quickly. LFL's now pushing forward. So Union's only got 2 flags on this CSA left. And CSA is going to put a little pressure. Nice arty shot. Really good arty shot.
Clear the road, don't stand in the middle of it.
Right.
Fall back.
So CSA starting to get behind this Union group here. They get a flag. Union's got to secure their flank. And again, now's the time to defeat the CSA in detail. I know Union doesn't have a lot of guys here, but you got to charge that. Union's also running out with a flag, which I don't know why you're doing it at this point. This is your best shot at winning at this point. Nothing else has worked, but now you move a flag out, and 3 minutes left on the clock, and Union is... I mean, they have even numbers over here. However, more CSA is starting to shift down, and Union on this side are still reforming after that charge, and I mean, it's just unfortunate to see.
Last guy. Get the last guy.
No! No!
Get the last guy. Don't let him get a flag. Don't let him get a flag.
Sluggy, you're by yourself.
Holy crap, he's dodging. Aww. So Union's down now a flag. I mean, yeah, you get Union being like, well, we don't want to lose the flag. We want to have one good final charge where we can have respawns, but I don't know. Union's starting to push up center. They also have some guys flanking down here. 6 Arkansas, they're just going in.
Hold the wall, hold the wall.
We can just be here. We can just be here.
So CSA is just going to hold on point. Union's going to go in, try their best to get some kills, but CSA's got enough tickets and morale to outright take this. Union's got 2 flags coming in though with some good amount of guys.
Don't stab me, I'm just coming over to see what you're doing. You missed twice, by the way. You should be embarrassed.
And you're dead, you son of a gun. Up and over! Counter-charge!
Counter-charge! Flag, you ran into my arms.
Good idea from CSA there. You don't want those flags sitting there respawning guys. I know there wasn't a lot of Union left, but you know, the tiny things can affect the bigger things in the end, so... Anyways. We might get him the breaking, actually. Union's gonna hit final push.
Watch for friendlies. Watch for friendlies. Watch for friendlies, boys. Let's go.
Hold this stone wall, boys. We're coming in piecemeal.
There it is. So, they're not going to hit him the breaking. Anyways, good first round. That really went how I expected. We really need to stop playing Garland Stand, guys. I feel like I've seen this map 8 times or so in the past month. Mostly just because of that SSL event on Wednesday for NA. people considered it a balanced map. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning or not, but my goodness. The funny thing, too, is I saw the next round last night. It's like, for some reason, unintentionally, all the events play the same map on the same weekend. It's just kind of... I fat-fingered that button by accident. I'm sorry. Anyways, it's just funny like that. So, with that all being said, I mean, CSA played the round as you should. Not really much more to say on their side. Union, it's a really rough map regardless of what you do. Union tried some things as a team. Some things were working, but they weren't able to get flags down, and that's a big part of it. Look at the kill difference, though. Anyways, we'll see you all shortly for round number 2.
This is Trader Server.
Sorry about the little jump scare with the halftime stuff as well. But anyways, here we are with the Andersons Counterattack. I brought on a few co-commentators with me, and I think we're going to go through and introduce all of them. First, we have Sevi.
Hi, I'm Sevi. Everybody knows me.
You have Complex.
What's up? It's Complex.
You have Spurious.
Hello.
You have Nibby.
What up?
And you have Skabilly Yank.
Hello, friends.
And then you have Daniel O'Kane.
Hail, Yakub.
So here's our commentator crew for the second half. Anyone want to give their insight to Anderson's counterattack?
Yeah, you see on Anderson's. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a great point. Our numbers, right now, it's 261. CSA up by 3 overall. CSA doesn't have artillery. Union has 7 on artillery. So our infantry in balance is going to be 10. It's going to be 10 in favor of the CSA side. Weapons on this map, Union Defense, they have the 9th New York with the Springfield 61. They have the 6th Wisconsin with the Lorenz and the Springfield 61. CSA Attack, on the other hand, they have the 1st... I have Alexander Farm out, not Anderson's Counterattack. That would make sense. I thought you had these memorized. No, I have a little sheet up. But Anderson Counterattack, Union has the 9th New York with the Springfield 61. They have the 89th New York with the Enfield CSA Attack. They have the 2nd and the 4th North Carolina. Both regiments have the option of the Springfield 55, Enfield, and the Springfield 42. So CSA's got buckeball. Anyways, anyone got thoughts on Anderson's?
I think they're already going to work with Forrest. Yeah, I think Anderson was a very smart man for counterattacking here.
It's not going to work. You can't have 7 people on this.
No, it's great
to win while you're also down on men.
I don't think I've ever seen the artillery on this map ever go KDR positive.
I think Killers personally got this in the bag, although this will be very difficult because the 9th New York has very pretty uniforms, and I think all of my co-commentators can agree.
I would agree.
I would agree.
Nobody else? None of the other co-commentators?
They're not sending as much CSA people to the right as I would like to see. They should work that forest heavy with the buck and ball, but they're splitting up way too far, in my opinion, so far.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I think the CSA would look better if they wore crop tops.
This is
that's a late war uniform. I'm sorry. That's a late
anyway, CSA's going in. We'll keep the commentators here for a minute through this charge, and then we'll venture off to what we were doing a moment ago.
Eagle wants us to
guys, help us. Help us.
See, Union just giving up the rock.
I'd really like to see what they're doing here because they're using their rocks as cover,
rocks.
and if they get their flags up and they can just hold her, they're just gonna win. I don't like to see the guys kneeling behind the cover doing nothing. That's really right below you. Look down. Down.
Oh, that's not cool.
They're just sitting there doing nothing. The guys in right shoulder shift doing nothing.
It's a brilliant use of manpower. But yeah, CSA...
The Union really should have held up there.
I'm surprised they didn't. They're holding a little farther back on some smaller rocks, but CSA is going to have a little bit of a height advantage, although they'll have to kind of expose themselves and a little bit to shoot. But yeah, CSA's got the buck and ball, as Complex said. They just need to play aggressive with the buck and ball. Remember, no sprinting until the 30-minute mark, and no bayonets until someone hits engaged. Anyways, we have Lou with us. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Lou Sandus, and I'm an alcoholic.
There we go. Another commentator.
Hi, Lou.
So,
he's our other commentator.
Anyways.
My name is Spurious, and I have a problem.
Anyways, with that all being said, thank you to the co-commentators. This was a great start to our video.
Bye, Eagle.
Eagle's keeping me in his basement. He hates me and he beats me daily.
Anyways, with that all being said, Thank you all for bearing with that. That was a little funny. I joined that call during the in between the rounds, and someone suggested it, so that was pretty funny. Anyways, oh, someone just got a kick saying you are not a part of this event. That's crazy. Anyways, yeah, I mean, normally the fighting happens in the woods on this map. It's surprising to see CSA go out here. Now, obviously, you see CSA do this sometimes, but it's a little surprising to see them go out here. They might not be taking the 42s, but also remember that no sprinting, no bayonets at the beginning of the round. They might not want to necessarily charge in right away. And so they're just like, you know, let's just spread out across the kind of the length of the map, get into a shootout with the defending team, and let's see if we can deal some ticket loss to them there. Because remember, right, if everyone's crammed up, it makes shooting the group a lot easier. So, at least if everyone's blobbed up together, right, it's not gonna... Sorry. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my words from what happened a moment ago with the commentators. But when a group is very spread out versus all blobbed up, it's going to be a lot harder to hit the group when they're spread out. So CSA, even though they might not be able to spread out in their own individual units, they are able to, you know, at least spread their groups out across the map instead of being all clumped up together. So, oh my goodness. LFL is holding on the point. Point of contention is, it says it's right here, which it is. You also have LFL here. It extends all the way up here. Looks like Union did bring their arty back a little here. As Sevi mentioned, Union arty, this isn't that great of a map for them because most of this map is fighting in the woods. You rarely see CSA fighting over here, and even if they are fighting over here, there's barely anybody over there. And I mean, CSA could try to shoot into the woods, but that's just going to be a very hard shot to do. CSA right side, 6th Alabama starting to get a little aggressive here. You got, it looks like some NYV guys potentially pushed a little too close to these rocks. You got 8th Florida and 3rd Alabama behind where these few NYV guys are. You got more NYV over to their right, but they're all taking really close shots. I'm surprised these guys are holding right here. It's completely exposed. I'm surprised they're not up against the rocks, but maybe they don't want to be close enough to where they have to charge in. Because the thing is, right, is this map is very similar to last map, except the attackers have buck and ball this time. So it's... And Union doesn't really have as strong of a defensive position per se. Gamebot's getting some nice shots. Williamson ran up and probably just trying to see where the enemy is. But...
And keep your eyes on the left.
I will Aladdin you with my Aladdin.
They're shooting from the upper rock.
And it looks like CSA is capping point, which I guess they're capping if they're down there. Which, I mean, CSA slightly up on tickets. CSA, at least compared to last map, does not need to worry that much about time, just because they have such an advantage. I mean, they have a 10% ticket advantage. They also have the 42s, so they can just be aggressive and get the Union down. Now, if the Union turtles back in their main spawn, and CSA can't deal a ticket loss, then there's no real reason to cap. But as of now, early cap is okay. It's going to stop the timer. It's going to give the CSA more time. Union's down on tickets as of now, and they will probably continue to stay that way. So Union is going to regain tickets, but as long as CSA can keep tickets even, in the grand scheme of things, that's very good as an attacker, keeping tickets even overall. I mean, you can be down as tickets on an attacker and still considered, you could still be in a good place. So it's about a third to a half morale stage difference where things start getting iffy for an attacker if they're down by that much. But with that all being said, CSA is going to cap the point. So Union can't cap from these rocks back here. They're obviously outnumbered since CSA took the point. But Union, oh, they actually pushed up a little bit here. HL, HD. on these rocks, but it looks like CSA wants to draw the Union in. CSA trying to make this more of a defensive map and have Union charge at them with the buck and ball.
Don't move, TJ. I'm a barber.
I mean, we'll see how this goes in the end, but...
The guy standing on this route.
I think that like the teams are unbalanced. Like not like the amount of people, but like how good the team is.
It's because of these maps.
Oh, crap.
Our side.
No, we're just
Spill the beans.
CSA biased.
Spill the beans. Who was that? Who do they think is bad? We need the content. We need the drama.
These regiments are bad, I'm telling you, brother.
They're taking the point.
So Union is starting to shift a lot of their guys onto the point here. They are starting to. They were for a moment. There it goes. But this is a good idea from Union. You know, if they can try to take the point back without having to charge in, that'd be great because that means they're not losing tickets, which Union tickets don't matter. But more importantly, right, Union regains up to what CSA is at in terms of a percentage of tickets. So if you're Union, you want to retake the point with CSA having as many tickets as possible. So Union, in all reality, if they want, they could just not kill the CSA right now and just try to sit cap point like this. If they can retake it while not killing CSA, you know, they'd be able to regain a fair amount of tickets. But the issue, okay, there's a charge over here. Looks like CSA pushed up to where that NYV line was. You do see some NYV guys here, but it looks actually most of the Union pulled off here. Maybe there is a couple guys left. CSA taking advantage though. The issue for Union though is that they, by not charging in, they're not fully forcing the CSA off the point, which means if Union does retake the point, CSA is just going to go right back to retaking it, which that's going to be difficult for the Union side to do. I mean, they're going to take casualties going in, so maybe it is just better for Union to try to charge in there and get some flags down and just try to take the point back. Because if Union can get CSA flags down, it can be a great start. So 2nd U.S. Cav is now shifted over on point. Texas Guards holding back there as well. With, on the far left, you got the 2 Corps guys there taking shots. And, I mean, CSA is just enveloping on the Union side as we speak.
Peek around the corner, fire.
Frickin' sorry, Canada. You moved right when I shot.
Alright, watch the east.
Right.
Sorry, independent fire. Independent. On our right, Canada, come up. Right, turn flag. Oh, there's some on the right. Some on the right. Just keep firing straight ahead, straight ahead, straight ahead.
So, Union hits engaged. CSA still in battle ready. Again, Union tickets don't matter a whole lot. Again, as mentioned at one point in last round, I think it was the later point, or maybe it was during the early cap, I don't remember. Union is considered the attacking team at this point. They're trying to take the point back, which means they can hit final push. If they hit final push, the gold timer will drop. Similarly, right, CSA can hit last stand, and if the CSA side hits last stand, Union could retake and win. The issue, though, is that for either side to hit those last stages, there's got to be charging nonstop for the whole counterattack, which we don't really see in this event. However, at this point, bayonets are not allowed since Union went into engaged. And as I just saw on the text chat, and I'll just show here as well, it says sprinting is allowed at 10 minutes on the gold timer or 30 minutes, whichever happens first. So, if the gold timer in 5 minutes, sprinting will be enabled. And again, that's just going to make it more difficult for Union to try to retake this point. Because if they want to charge at the CSA, they got a double quick or quick time, which is insanely difficult for Union to do, charging into buck and ball. It's going to give CSA more time to aim, reload, everything. It looks like you got some CSA charging on this side, and they're just cleaning through.
Burn the Union. Come here, buddy. Come here.
Beautiful job, Envy.
6 out, reorg! 6 out!
Well, looks like the flag's going to get out. A and V with a nice little charge is pushing Union off. And for CSA, another note is that during a counterattack, right, Union's going to regain if they do retake it, which we'll see. The match that I watched last night of this map, CSA just capped it at the beginning of the round and outright held it for 20 minutes. It was kind of wild, and if it happens again, I don't know what I'll think. But the thing is, right, is that Union's down on tickets, at least a percentage-wise, compared to the CSA side. If Union is getting close to retaking the point, the CSA side needs to dive bomb the point. One, for the obvious reason of they want to try to hold the point if possible, right? If you hold the point longer, it's going to force Union out of their defensive positions, which are okay, but it's still their defensive positions. You force them out of it. But the other thing, too, is that Union's going to regain a bunch of tickets once they retake the point. And if you're CSA, you want everyone to be as low on tickets as possible. Because remember, if tickets are even on both sides, if both sides have the same percentage of tickets, you're doing great as an attacker. So if you're up by a lot of tickets, just dive on the point. Even if you lose it, you lose a lot of tickets, and then the defending team, or the original defending team, can't regain as many.
We got friendlies on the far left. And we have friendlies on the far right, too.
Yep.
But CSA is starting to get more and more ground. HLHD have taken the edge of where Union cap. Second US Cav pushing up. HLHD follows suit. And they're about to flank these Union guys here.
Don't run away, we were just having some.
Hold on the cannon. HL, hold on the cannon. Hold on the cannon. There's so many! They're not looking at us! They're not looking at us! You're not
So point natural decay right now. Union's not capping. Unless they shouldn't be. That'd be crazy if they got behind the lines of the CSA team. So you got some arty guys here. So TSA is just slowly pushing their will. I don't know how much further they can go before they hit out of bounds, but it's getting there. Texas Guards now showing up. You got Midwest versus Delaware guys just kind of running forward aimlessly. TSA hits engaged.
Yeah. It's not fair.
You have to watch out that we don't shoot it.
We can't shoot in a spot. We can't shoot in a spot. We can't
Allez, à gauche de la course.
I mean, Union main spawn is right there. So this is rough. Wonder where this is relative to the rest of the map. I mean, I was gonna mention this last round, never did. Like the whole map is generated in. There's so many areas. Like, look how hilly that is over there. Like, imagine if there were just maps over there. You know, it's like they could fit a lot more ahistorical maps, which is perfectly fine. But they could fit a lot of ahistorical maps on here if they wanted to. The drill camps have been nice, but they were kind of lazily designed. Which, again, I appreciate new maps, but you know, if they're lazily designed, they're lazily designed. The Union's almost down to taking losses. This is going to be a repeat of last night, isn't it? Oh my goodness.
Allez, même chose, une salve, même chose, visez un petit peu plus bas, vraiment au ras du gauche en face. En joue. Et... Feu. Parfait. Oh là là, c'est tombé là. J'aime.
So, sprinting now allowed.
Let's get back to the audio.
And the only shot Union has at this point is, again, doing some form of team charges, which it looks like they're starting to put pressure on this CSA right. You got NYV shifting over this way. Meanwhile, you got Union starting to push up in the center. I mean, Union's spreading out CSA right now, which maybe could allow some defeat in detail. Lower Mississippi pushing up center with some SB artillerymen. A lot of shots going over the head there, these guys. But look at what are these artillerymen doing? They're trying to take the guns. I mean, they gotta turn that gun and aim it towards the CSA. But, oh, they just ran back. Alright, 9 minutes left. CSA responded accordingly. Haven't really seen fighting over on this side a whole lot. I do see some comments from some Union guys in the chat, at least on a frontline reporter, talking about, hey, watch for CSA shooting into CSA spawn, or Union spawn. But, I mean, anywhere CSA shoots, it's shooting in the general direction of their spawn. CSA has pushed the Union so far back that it's just one of those things that kind of just happens, whether on purpose or not. But got 3rd Alabama and 8th Florida trying to go around for a flank. And far Union left. And again, Union's in a very similar situation to the last map. I'm very surprised though they're not charging at all, because that's the only, you got to retake the point back at some point. There is almost no reason why to never not charge in a counterattack. I know they couldn't sprint up until the 10-minute mark, and that is a reason to not do it, but at this point, it feels like Union's got to be doing something like that. You got a fair amount of Union guys in the center here as well. They're slowly starting to inch forward. Using the artillery, caissons, and guns as cover.
Double ring. Independent fire. Independent fire once you form the double ring. I gotta get out of here. Once you're formed up, you're an independent fire at will. Shoot them down, second. Come on, shoot.
Aim a bit high, boys. A bit high. Just above the heads.
Oh, they're coming. Oh, those guys are coming. Shoot higher. They're going right. They're going right.
Right face. Second half. Right face. Charge. Get into them. You can only move out the double.
Union, I mean, they got a couple CSA guys here. They're the wipe. CSA moving in to reinforce. Union hits taking losses. Doesn't really matter a whole lot. Oh my goodness, Union retook the CSA already. More like CSA left. Anyways, CSA hold that charge on that front. Looks like Union flag, I assume, is down there. It looks like you got 20th Georgia moving over to assist as well, seeing as the point went down for a moment. But they take back and hold that. CSA shots, I don't know what they're shooting at. They probably got maybe a team kill or so just shooting that way. But again, maybe just seeing the point naturally decay did that. 6 Alabama charging in, which at this point you're not going to know if it's natural decay or not, so you can't necessarily blame the guys for doing what they did. But 6 Alabama wins that little charge there, getting a Union flag down. So Union's now down 2 flags. 6 minutes left on the counterattack. Now you got more CSA pushing forward at the Union Army.
Hold on the caissons.
I don't have my load.
Wait, Lancelot.
Hold on this
cannon. Hold on the caissons.
About face, about face, about face, about face.
And looks like we got more charging in the woods. Union's trying to push forward, and CSA's doing the charging. You'd think Union would, because they're trying to take the point back. And I will note that it looks like another Union flag is down, or maybe that's only 2 Union flags are down. Maybe they picked up the one that was over here. But that's the thing, right, is you can lose a match. I mean, this map is really, really hard for the Union side. But there's things that you can do right. And, I mean, maybe Union's just trying to communicate, and that's why they're kind of sitting back and shooting, trying to figure things out. But they still haven't really tried a whole big team charge on point. If anything, CSA's done more charging in the counterattack, which is surprising.
Northwest, north.
You do have a Union group off to the far right, and it looks like they did get a CSA flag down, so that's a start. NYV, 6 Arkansas over here.
NYV, we're going back to the left.
But Unions, they just got to group up on this side and go in. I mean, NYV and 6 Arkansas's got to get over there somewhere. It looks like NYV's starting to flank around with the flag. However, you got CSA moving up there trying to get their flag back. And Union looks to be grouping up over here. 4 minutes.
Oh, I guess they thought we were friendlies. Unfortunate.
I hope you feel safe, though.
Yeah, there's more moving southeast now, down the road.
Yeah.
You're quite warming.
Don't shoot down the road. Don't shoot down the road.
So, Union holding for now. Looks like NYV is getting in some action over here. A couple CSA guys getting that flag out. HL and HG, I don't think they see NYV. Oh, yeah, they do.
Charge left. Charge left. Charge left, HL.
Charge left, guys. Charge left. Come on. Fucking don't run, coward. Come back here.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Come here, buddy.
Holy shit.
Alright, about face.
About face,
Good stuff, good stuff.
I don't know why Union's not charging at this point. Maybe they're trying to communicate. Again, we don't necessarily know. But they're running out of time. Oh, Mississippi pushing back up to where we saw them earlier. Midwest, 8th Florida, 3rd Alabama holding behind. You got more Union behind. They're starting to inch up. Here comes CSA with the flank. I assume A and V. Yep. And they get a good amount of the Union. 20th Georgia now for CSA trying to go in to assist. Looks like you got more CSA pouring in from the point here.
Let's go.
So you got more Union guys showing up on this side, trying to get into the fun. Point is starting to go in Union's favor. Zooming out briefly. Union might have a window here to actually take it back. Flags are going to be a huge thing at this point, which those are 2 Union flags over there. Union's trying to not charge into CSA and go around, trying to catch them at the point, but you got some CSA over there with the flag as well. 1.5 minutes left. CSA starting to turn and charge in on point. You also got a lot of Union from Maine just trickling into the CSA in the woods.
Kill their flag, kill their flag, kill their flag.
Northeast, northeast, northeast.
1 minute left.
Spray, get ready.
Sorry, Fit.
Shut up. Shut your mouth. Yeah, you didn't see that. Shut your mouth, filthy rebel. Shut your mouth.
Point still being held by CSA. Fair amount of CSA moving in. You got some CSA in the woods protecting that flank. A lot of Union pouring in, though. I mean, how many CSA guys spawn main? Only a couple. I mean, their main spawn is kind of far away, but a lot of CSA waiting up on those flags, or they just showed up from main. And here comes the last Union huzzah. If Union has more bodies on point when the gold timer hits 0, they can force an overtime and try to continue taking it back. And with that, that's going to be our second round for today. Last few CSA pouring out of the woods, but wow. I kid you not. If you hop on last night's Manassas campaign video you will see the same exact round being played out. Wow. CSA, I mean, they didn't necessarily need to, but they did anyways. They capped the point. They were like, Union, come to us, instead of us trying to charge you out. And it worked. Union, I mean, I know they couldn't sprint, which was a huge killer of that, but even after the 10-minute gold timer mark, Union didn't really try to charge in as a whole team until it was too late. And it almost looked like they were starting to get things, but again, too late. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel more, go beneath the video and hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment on the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Besides that, though, we have our Discord, Clips channel, and more in the description. I appreciate you all. I could not do this without you guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your night.